What is up, you guys? Today we're going to be talking about a Star Wars theory, one that I have been wanting to do for a long time, one that I've thought about a lot, and really I've just been wanting to do any theory, but figured since I haven't done it in a long time, this would be a good start to kind of pick back up with that. So we're going to be talking about the theory, or not even theory, but the kind of reasoning behind Obi Wan Kenobi's accelerated age between episode Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. Now, when we first meet Obi Wan Kenobi in A New Hope, it's played by Alec Guinness, who's around 67, 68 years old. He's really old, you can tell. His white hair, he's almost balding, and his skin, he just looks old. Whereas when we see him in the trilogy, or the prequel trilogy, 19 years prior to A New Hope and Revenge of the Sith, we have Ewan McGregor playing Obi-Wan Kenobi, where he's about 30, probably late 20s, early 30s, right? So it doesn't really make sense for 19 years of age to make someone look so old. Now, this isn't my theory originally. I found it on Reddit, I liked it, I don't remember the guy's name, but I want to add a few details he didn't have in there. So first off, as we know, if you read the comics and you follow around a bunch, Yoda had training for Obi-Wan on Tatooine, aside from just protecting Luke on Tatooine and making sure the Emperor couldn't find him. He was also training to keep his independent character after he died, just like Qui-Gon did, who is the first Jedi to actually master that. And then in A New Hope, when we see Yoda and Obi-Wan as Ghost, or I'm sorry, not A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, where we see Ben Kenobi come back as a ghost, this is what Qui-Gon Jinn had mastered, and he was the first Jedi Master to master it, because what they originally believed is once you passed on, your spirit just became a part of the living force. Somehow, Qui-Gon was able to keep his independent character and keep his body after he had passed away. So, this is how Yoda kind of ties in with all that. As you can see, Yoda in Revenge of the Sith is he's about, let's say, 890 years, right? Because in The Empire Strikes Back, he says he's 900, or Return of the Jedi, he says he's 900 years old. So that's about 19 years, we'll say like 890. He's 890 years old. He doesn't really look all that old in Revenge of the Sith. You know, he still looks young, he can still jump around and hop around and do things, whereas in The Empire Strikes Back, when we first meet him, he is very old, can barely walk. Now this is different because in Revenge of the Sith, in the prequels, he was CGI animated, whereas in the original trilogy, he was a puppet. But if we're going to go by this theory, what I'm going to say is, what if training to keep your independent character after you die, instead of just becoming one with the Force, is so draining because you have to visit back and forth. You have to speak with Qui-Gon. You have to, you just have to keep going back and forth from the living and the not living. That it takes a toll on your physical body. That's basically the gist of it. I don't have the full details, so if you do want it, this isn't my original theory, you should look it up. I don't remember the Reddit user name or whatever like that, but it's a very interesting theory and I liked it a lot. So basically, after all these also, by the way, Tatooine has 2 suns, so just the damage it's doing to his skin there, on top of him training his spirit, his soul, to live on after he dies, just took such a toll that he did accelerate, or age accelerating. Does that make sense? He aged more rapidly than most would. This is honestly the greatest theory I've heard up to date. I mean, the rest of them were just, oh, Tatooine has 2 suns, oh, he was under a lot of stress, but those don't really add up, because Obi-Wan Kenobi served in the Clone Wars. He was in wars and battles, ground battles, he was fighting. You know, that was his day-to-day life for 10, 15 years, you know. He trained Anakin. Anakin was in the Clone Wars, and he trained him from a small boy to a grown adult during the Clone Wars. So the Clone Wars were a long time, and Obi-Wan looks fresh and young and all, you know. He didn't look super old in the original, or in the prequel trilogy, so that didn't really make sense to me that now, oh, all he has to do is stay hidden. He barely moves. You know, he just has to watch this boy. That's why I didn't really like that theory. There were some other ones on there. I don't know them all, but this one just makes the most sense. It goes with the story well, and it also works for Yoda. It works for two. It works for two characters, so it works for multiple characters. That's why I like it, because it's not just one character, one instance. There's not a lot of evidence to prove that it's incorrect either. And it didn't come directly from Star Wars. It was a fan-made theory that makes a lot of sense. That's why I'm just a really big fan of it. And shout out to the guy who came up with this. If you are watching this, I'm not trying to take credit, but kudos to you, because that's by far the best theory for an explanation on Obi Wan Kenobi's accelerated aging. Well, I think that's all I'm going to do for now, guys. I really hope you enjoy it and you like it. If you have any constructive criticism or even just criticism, leave it down in the comments. Turn on those notifications and hit a like. See you guys in the next video.